By now, you've all seen the video of the sister, getting clobbered by the biracial dude. She was on live, I think it was IG Live, and she was doing a live, and the guy's apparently a drug addict from all reports, and he got mad and came up behind her, and he cleaned her clock. Okay, he cleaned her clock. All right, which shows that his punching power ain't where it need to be, because God, dog, if I had that shot on any person, I'm talking about they not looking, they not paying attention, and I just get a free one, you might die. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not like bragging or nothing, like I'm a tough guy or nothing. I'm just talking about my punching power. Don't mean that I'm tough or I'm a gangster or nothing. It's just my punching power. You might die if you're just like not ready for it, and I lean and I put all 290 into it. But this situation right here, though, this was bad.
Around and everybody laughing until it's your daughter, sister, cousin, mom, etc. Ain't nothing funny about it. And that's what disturbs me the most. In this community, when some of y'all do get arrested, and even if you deserve it, or they took you out because you had a weapon on you, or whatever the case is, we still, even though you have a criminal, thuggish, ruggish past, I still gotta find it within me to have empathy. I still gotta find it within me to go and bail you out of jail, or I gotta write a GoFundMe, or I gotta donate to all that, and I gotta help your family and feel. I have to do all these things for you, but y'all engage in behavior like this where you could have killed her because she was hit so hard. It's all of a sudden comedy to y'all.
And this the sister's eye. It's not that bad. Not as bad as it could have been, obviously. He gave her a little shiner. But that sister that was just speaking, she's correct, man. I don't think sisters should stop supporting criminals and thugs when they get killed by cops or things like that, because on no one black woman versus black man gender war type tip. I think they shouldn't do it because there's other causes, like little kids getting killed, little kids getting shot with stray bullets. That gets about 0.5% of their attention, and 99.5% of black women's attention goes to grown adult men being rightfully arrested for crimes, resisting arrest, and then ending up dead or being killed in police custody. So I just think they should spend, it's just their mothers and, Mother Earth and Mother the planet and all this stuff. You would focus on the one that happens every day, all over the world, all over the country, all the time. Every black city, every day, kids are getting shot in the street. Not kids that are doing anything. I'm talking about kids that are in their house, kids that are in there playing, making TikTok videos, bullets flying through the wall, killing them. You should spend a little bit more than 0.5% of your energy on that, and a little less of 99.5% of your energy on grown adult men killed resisting arrest. So just yesterday in D.C., this happened. Yesterday. What a relief. Reagan will make a full recovery. No child should have to go through this, and those involved in the shooting need to be caught before they hurt someone else. More here on A Car of Interest. So this little girl, Reagan, she was shot. She got caught up in some other beef that some guys had with each other, and she ended up getting shot. But she's going to make it. But I want you to look at something closely to what this white woman said. And she's woke. And you might not have caught it, but she says, those involved in the shooting need to be caught before they hurt someone else. No. Those involved in the shooting need to be caught, period. That's the end of the sentence. See, this woke crap has these people thinking that they always got to justify if a black man's going to be arrested. Because we know a black guy did it because there's no protest. And it's not on CNN right now. And NBA players aren't paying their hospital bills. So, and no rappers, raptivists are talking about it. So, we understand this is a black guy. Just like every shooting in D.C. 99.99999% of them. But the shooter, those involved in the shooting need to be caught, period. Not because they may do, even if they don't do nothing to nobody else, they need to be caught for what they already did.
Remnants of crime scene tape now line the front gate where children spent the day playing. Just like this mom, Tia B, says her kids were doing Saturday night before 7, when one of their playmates, a 7-year-old girl, was shot in the chest.
My kids and I were outside, and they were in the courtyard, and they were starting to shoot from the end of the street down towards the children. So we grabbed the children and put them in the house.
Where's her outrage? Well, I know she can't be outraged because the dudes are still out there. There's a lot of reasons why she can't be outraged. As she can't be as outraged as she would be if a dope fiend died in police custody in Minneapolis, or a drunk died in police custody in Atlanta, or a hoodlum died in police custody in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. She can't be as outraged that some young dudes came by and shot towards her and her kids and her kids' playmates playing. Because the community, that's the type of community. And the community is majority women, single mothers, and teenage boys, feral teenage boys. So you won't see that much outrage in the people even involved in it. You won't see no white liberals out here. All the white liberals with their signs, they ain't coming out here. This the hood. And it's hood business. And they can't use this for political reasons. They can't use this in no way, shape, or form politically. This gets them, white liberals, this gets them nothing. But this happens every day.
My kids and I were outside, and they were in the courtyard, and they were starting to shoot from the end of the street down towards the children. So we grabbed the children and put them in the house.
DC police say the girl was riding a scooter near her family on the 3500 block of J Street Northeast when she was hit. As of Sunday afternoon, they say she's in stable condition in the hospital. This is the same block where less than a month ago, DC police say a 15-year-old stabbed 16-year-old Marquette Galloway to death.
Right now, our whole courtyard is on lockdown. Like, none of the parents are willing to let our children outside right now because of what's going on. I have a 5-year-old right here.
A community where, and this, you ain't gonna hear no pro-black. This the thing about it. You have 18 billion pro-blacks on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube combined. If you combine all of them, it's 18 billion pro-blacks with platforms. Pro-blacks. You ain't gonna hear a word about the fact that it's a neighborhood, and not just one. Thousands where black parents can't let their kids go outside and play because black people will shoot who don't even know them or never seen them will come by shooting and where they play at. There's a trillion white liberals that claim to care so much about black people. You got Anderson Cooper, Chris Cuomo. Everybody will see it. Rachel Maddow. The president, Biden. You talk about a crisis at the border with children. Children in cages at the border. What about these children caged in their house that they can't go outside and play? The niggas go come through shooting. What about these children caged in the house? You care about them? It's more black women that protest about the border than protest about this. Hit one of you if you agree with that. If you've been watching this channel or you've been watching other channels throughout the year, there are more black women that protest and openly express outrage online on their platforms, on social media about the crisis at the border than they do about this crisis that's affecting not only this neighborhood but thousands and thousands of neighborhoods all across the country in Blackistan. And you can't find one white neighborhood that's like this. There's not one. If you can find me one white neighborhood like this, you got Mafia, you got Hell's Angels. Name me one white neighborhood where the parents can't let their kids go outside and play. Just one.
Right now, our whole courtyard is on lockdown. Like, none of the parents are willing to let our children outside right now because of what's going on. I have a 5-year-old right here, so that's really scary.
So far this year, DC police says 4 kids have become homicide victims. Again, this little girl is still fighting.
And it's sad to say that you can't enjoy all the things that they building up out here, like they took the playgrounds down to redo them and everything.
But B says the renovations aren't enough to keep her here anymore.
At this point, it's like I'm ready to move. I can't raise my kids here. Like,
don't worry, Treese. I ain't gonna let them talk bad about you, Treese. I got your back. You heard that sister? That sister said she about to move. And then y'all got mad at Treese, man. Treese Colors, man. Y'all ain't right, man, getting mad at Patrice Cullors because she don't want to live around you Nick. Y'all ain't right, man. Patrice Cullors said she ain't living around you niggas, man. She gone. But everybody acted like they had a problem with that. Man, is she... So what? She could do all that fake Black Lives activism right from her white neighborhood. Everything is online now. She ain't. I never seen it. We never see her at no rally or no protest anyway. She behind the scenes. Let this woman preserve her life and stay the hell away from Negroes, man. You can't blame. At this point, you cannot blame nobody. Name me one. And again, I'm only asking for one. Name me one black celebrity, actor, singer, ball player, icon, whatever, that lives in the black neighborhood. Name me one.
But B says the renovations aren't enough to keep her here anymore.
At this point, it's like I'm ready to move. I can't raise my kids here. Like, it's not a good thing, not a good feeling to have to keep your kids secluded.
For now, though, she says that's what she'll have to do to try to keep them safe. In Northeast D.C., Jess Arnold, WUSA 9.
Now, you understand what I'm saying? I'm not telling these sisters to quit advocating for criminals and stuff. Listen, at this point, if a brother get in a situation with a cop and he resisting arrest, man, that's you and your family. That's you and your family's issue, man. You shouldn't have been doing what you was doing. You obviously was getting arrested, because we ain't seen one that was wrongfully getting arrested. Okay? A lot of people think Dante Wright was wrongfully arrested because they sent the notice to appear in court for his warrant, his notice to be in court. They sent it to the wrong address, which anybody from the street or anybody who's been around know. When you committed a crime, you got arrested, and they gave you a court date, released you on your own personal recognizance. You don't need no reminder. You know you got a court date. But anyway, and when the police come arrest you and tell you you got a warrant, you know what it's for. It ain't like you're like, oh, damn, what am I gonna... No, you know what you did. You done been arrested. You done been processed. You know what the deal is. But that's neither here nor there. Dante Wright. Mainstream media told us it wasn't even his fault that he resisted arrest, because they sent the notice to the wrong house. Well, that's not true at all. What happened was the charge, the case number that they're using, trying to say that they sent to the wrong house, that was for an aggravated robbery charge where he choked and put a gun to the head of a black woman in an attempted robbery. That was the one that they trying to say was sent to the wrong house. The notice to appear in court or whatever, that he had missed his court date. That's a different charge. What he was actually being arrested for was for having his tags was dead. He had, it's basically his tags was dead and his registration was expired. But when they got his identification card, which we're told that black people don't have IDs, even Dante Wright, a dude with a rap sheet longer than a CVS receipt, a straight goon out here in these streets, even a goon, a demon, he had an ID. That's neither here nor there. That's another story. We know why they use that ID thing. They want illegals to be able to vote, because every black person got an ID. The only people who ain't got IDs are illegal immigrants, because they don't have the documents to get an ID. And white people want them to get IDs so they can vote Democrat. So they got black people hyped up to thinking that making people have IDs when they go vote is racist against black people. You got black people out in the streets protesting and fighting and boycotting and all this crap. When even Dante Wright, a straight goon, got an ID. So anyway, they weren't. There was no paperwork sent to the wrong house. If any paperwork was sent to the wrong house, it would have been the paperwork for the 2019 robbery, which he was released on bail for. He bonded out for that. So he robbed this black woman, put a gun to her head and choked her, and got out the next day. But what happened was the notice of hearing was for the register of actions indicates the notice of hearing for this case was sent to the wrong house, but the court did not respond with a warrant. Okay, so he didn't have a warrant for robbing that black woman and choking her and putting the gun to her head. He already knew his trial date. That trial date was on August 2nd. So he was going to go to trial for robbing and choking the black woman and putting the gun to her head on August 2nd. The charge he actually had the outstanding warrant for was for possession of a pistol without a permit and fleeing a police officer in March. So that would have been, he died in early April, so that would have been, that would have been like a week or so before he got caught again. So the police already knew he was armed. He just got caught with a gun and he fled the police a week before. So they caught up to him again during this traffic stop while he's riding around with dead tags. So they already know he's a dangerous guy. He's robbed a woman, put a gun to her head, got out of jail for that, waiting for his court date, August 2nd on that. And he just got caught with a gun, fled the police, got away, and now there's a warrant out on him for that. There's no sending nothing to your house, nothing like that. You fled the police. You know you got caught, the officer, you got away. Just like he almost did this time. Except the white lady pulled out the taser gun, her gazer, or whatever you want to call it, and shot him. So he didn't get away this time. And that's sad. Obviously, they rioted in all across the country. And it was 24-hour news. And he got $1 million in his GoFundMe. And he had funerals attended by celebrities and activists and everybody. He's on t-shirts. So, like, don't act like, man, that's some serious stuff. Well, we know it's serious. Everybody's been talked about it for almost a month. So don't, if you get in my comment section talking about some, man, it's still serious, man, he ain't did, I'm going to have one of the mods block you. Because we know it's serious. He got a month of international news coverage. He got $1 million for his family. People got tattoos. They're calling him the Prince of Brooklyn Center, the town where he's from. So he got his just due. How much did your last relative who passed away get? That got shot or killed. What did they get? Right. Did they get this? Articles written of him like this? Dante Wright, slain by police officer, was doting dad and hoops player. Did they get that? Huh? Did the media give your relative who got shot or got murdered, did they get this? A doting dad and a hoops player. Well, he might have been a doting dad and a hoops player. You know, a lot of goons that can shoot some hoops. And a lot of goons that love their kids. So technically, I mean, I don't. This article is 100% factually correct. Because a lot of goons love their kids. Okay, so the incident that I was talking about where he robbed the black woman at gunpoint and choked her. The incident that incident in particular, let me just set the scene. They went to a party at this woman's house, and after the party was over and everybody was left, Dante and his friend, his buddy, said they didn't have any ride home. So the woman allowed them to sleep on their floor until the morning, and where they could figure out a way to get back home. Pretty nice lady. They didn't know Dante. They didn't know them. Dante and his friend. They just knew that they were at their party. They didn't know him like that. And she still let him sleep on her couch that night. Ladies, don't do that. If you gotta pay $10, $15 to get a nigga Uber in a situation like this, to have him out of your hair, to not have to deal with him no more, call that nigga Uber and send him on his way. A Lyft. $8. Get that Negro out your house. Instead of being like, man, I ain't my problem, but you can sleep on my couch. Now you got some career criminal, a straight goon. Because there's other stuff that, you know, like his social media profile just looks like a goon, straight savage. Sleeping on your couch while you counting sheep and you sleeping. So anyway, him and his buddy and Majay slept on the floor that night. And Majay actually knew the woman, but Dante didn't. In the morning, she received $820 cash from another person for rent. So there's another woman in the house and never do this either. Went to the bank, came back, and was like, here go your $820 I owed you for rent. Like her roommate. In front of these two. That was just an error. She could have been like, come in the room for a second. I gotta talk to you. Or she could have just did it it's a million ways she could have gave this woman this $820 without just in front of these guys. But she did it right in front of these guys. Here go your $820 for rent in cash, and handed it to her. So then the woman said she heard Dante tell his friend that they should hit some stains, which she said meant robbing someone, but she thought he was joking. She thought he was joking. You sisters is out here asleep at the wheel, man. God, you sisters are sleeping, boy. I don't know what, if it's the media, whether it's IQ, I just don't understand. Like, he told you, you were lucky enough to overhear him talking about robbing you. As soon as you got $820 in cash, but you thought he was joking. Dante is joking. So they all leave the house. So it's time to, I guess she got to go to work. So she's like, all right, guys can't stay here. I'm going to work. You guys, you know, got a ride or whatever. Let's pack up and let's go. As they left the apartment, Dante turned around, blocked the door, and stopped her from exiting and pulled out a black handgun with silver trim out from either his right waistband or his right coat pocket and pointed it at her and demanded the rent money. So he wasn't joking. And that's a gun he flashed, numerous times in Instagram Live, TikTok videos, and things like that. Give me the effing money. I know you have it, Dante said. He then placed his hand around her neck and choked her while trying to pull the cash from under her bra. So that could also be viewed as a sexual assault. I mean, you got a gun to a woman's head, you choking her, and you reaching in her bra. I mean, if I'm her lawyer and I see that $1 million that Dante family got, and I want a piece of that, I'm coming after them for sexual assault, as well as the robbery and all the other assaults that went along with it. She said she told him to get out because the cops are close. Let me tell you something about this, sisters, and I know y'all woke and everything, because y'all believe all this stuff these white liberals tell you on TV, and y'all don't go by what you see in your neighborhood every day. How many of y'all think that sister from that story earlier, that sister in D.C. thinks black men are scared of the police? Like white liberals tell us every night. Like Don Lemon tells us every night on the news. Who thinks that black men are scared of? Black men ain't scared of police. I'm telling you, I'm not scared of police. I'm not a crook or criminal. I'm not scared of the police, man. There's no reason to be. And then, even when they're committing crimes, the crooks and the criminals, they're less scared of police. Because look what they do. They do things that attract the police. I'm not scared of the police because I'm not attracted to them. And I know they're not going to mess with me for no reason. It just doesn't happen. They may mess with me for a petty reason, like say I'm smoking a joint, say I step behind a building and I smoke a joint and there ain't no cops around, and then the cop pulls up and weed, you know how weed is, you can smell it a block away. And he sees me toss the joint and I'm in an area where marijuana is illegal, and he messing with me for something stupid or something petty. But it is still something. But a cop ain't gonna mess with you for nothing. No. So she tried to tell Dante that the cops was coming. Like that meant anything to him. She told Dante to get out because the cops were close. But that Mr. Wright told her that he would shoot her. So the cops are close, and now I'm gonna make a loud gun sound. You telling me the cops is close? All right, I'm going to fire a gun. Since you just told me the cops were close. That's why I tell you, Micaiah, black criminals are not scared of the... Micaiah, a black criminal who was... If she didn't die, she would have had a criminal record for what she did that day. If she had stabbed that woman, she would have been, at the very least, attempted murder. So Micaiah, you saw her try to stab a woman while the cops was right there. Dante, she telling Dante the cops is close. He like, all right, now I'm gonna fire a gun at you since you told me the cops are close. Black people ain't scared of police, man. Stop this crap, man. We're not scared of police. Sorry, damn. So he said he would shoot her. And he said, give me the money and we will leave. But the victim, but then he tried to choke her, a second time and tried to take the money. So she wasn't giving that $820 up. She needed that. Like, man. Shortly thereafter, he left. Him and his friend left, driving off in a white Cadillac. After which she said she found the cash was still in her bra. I know y'all gonna say, I just know y'all in the comments that you hate yourself, the pro-blacks. This is not me. Do that look like me? That's a biracial dude, man. You need to go tell Tucker Carlson that he hate himself for what he said about this boy. You need to go tell Sean Hannity that he hates himself for what he said about this boy. Stop always telling the black person, when it comes to a biracial person, stop always telling the black person that they hate themselves. I want to see y'all start telling these white people who say things that y'all don't like about these biracial dudes. Like, let's just say the dude who just clobbered that woman, sucker punched that woman from behind on the live stream. Say this story goes viral or gets attention, and some white person pundit says, "Damn, he shouldn't have did that. That was wrong." Also, he did it on a live stream, which shows that he wasn't afraid of getting caught for it. Yeah, he clobbered a woman from behind, but he did it on the live stream, so any police attention he gets would be solely his fault because he did it on a public forum. Damn, that's kind of messed up. If a white person says that, and predictably pro-blacks, you're going to be upset about that. That's going to piss you off. Why not say that that white person who said that hates themselves? Y'all don't do that. Y'all only do that when a black person says something about a biracial person. You never say that about these white guys. These white guys on TV talking all types of crap about these biracial criminals, these biracial thugs. And y'all never say that they hate themselves.